Alright, boys and girls, we're talking about vampires. Gay vampires, man. This is about Dio and Alucard, baby. Now, see, I know quite a bit about Dio. I've seen all 5 JoJo parts, Phantom Blood, Battle Tendencies, Stardust Crusaders, Diamond Unbreakable, and Golden. We had never read the manga though, but you know, regardless, I know quite a bit about Dio. He's a persistent little He's a persistent little shit, but goddamn it, does he look good? And you know what? Dio is one. I'm like, Dio's Dio. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, like, that's just how it is, bro. It's not even funny anymore. Like, so I know about Dio. I know the guy's insanely overpowered. He's got time stopping abilities. Right? Like, come on. How do you even top that? If you want to make your character OP, legit just give him time bending abilities. Like, think about it. Anyone who has time bending abilities, you know, you basically, you win, right? Or any type of reality, right? But what is reality? Reality is time, isn't it? If you think about it, if you control time, you control everything. Right? Like Gearus, MK11. Guy can't die, even no matter how many times you want to try. Guy just keeps on coming back, manipulates time. Can legit add time to the counter, to the attack thing, whatever it is. But regardless, I don't know shit about Alucard. I know he's from the Castlevania series. I didn't play Castlevania games either. I don't know if I should. Maybe I might. I don't know. What do you guys think? I did play Metroidvania type of games like Guacamelee and stuff like that. But, you know, if there's anything that's up my alley, then I'll take it. But for now, I just want to know what's going to go on. Alright? So, alrighty. So, yeah. So, who do I think is going to win? I want Dio to win because I just know him. I don't know anything about Alucard, but Dio, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's get it. Dio for the win. Let's go. Road roller. Roller.
Dio Brando, everlasting adversary of the joestar bloodline.
Joestar bloodline. Yeah.
Alucard, undying enforcer of the hellsing organization. Vampires, the spawn of nightmares formed from the blackest pits of man's demented imagination. Anime, basically the same thing. What do you get when you combine them? 2 of the meanest monsters out there.
Yeah, man.
He's Wiz and I'm
That's Jump Force right there?
And it's our job to
no,
analyze
that
their
right there was
weapons,
like,
armor,
I think
and skills
in
to
heaven
find
or
out who
something
would
like
win a death battle.
Yeah, my money's on Dio. The guy's just insane, man. He's gonna throw his
Imagine,
knives.
if you can, someone so wicked that the sheer magnitude of their unholy dickishness literally destroyed the universe.
Bruh.
You might think they'd have to be no less than the devil himself, but it was him, Dio.
It was his
Born
Dio.
a
Is that just a
street
reference?
rat with a cunning mind in the slums of Victorian London, Dio was humiliated by his poverty and abused by his alcoholic father. His bitter resentment
You can't
and
blame
small
him,
dick
though,
energy would lead to
Small
a
dick
lifelong
energy.
desire for ultimate power and immortality to reach a place over heaven. And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy joestar family. Dio planned to kill his new father, George Joestar, and take his fortune for himself. Only one thing stood in his way.
Jonathan?
His new brother, Jonathan Joestar.
Hell yeah.
AKA
Jojo.
Jojo.
Yeah.
Dio tried to go all alpha wolf on Jojo by engaging in such classic sibling pranks as beating him up, molesting his girlfriend, and setting his dog on fire.
Rip Danny
Jesus,
always
you
rip
give that
Danny.
creepy dog murderer what for, Jojo?
There you go. You
But
knocked
after
the shit out of
years
him, bro.
Emotional manipulation, Dio's twisted assassination plot was foiled
His
by
eyes
his
look
righteous
evil,
stepbrother.
like mine.
With help from the interfering speedwagon, all seemed lost until Dio pulled out his plan B, an ancient stone mask that turned him into a vampire.
Nice.
That's just
Like, who would want to be a
bizarre.
vampire, man? Like,
Okay,
you're
so
hot,
he's
you
not
got teeth, you can suck,
technically a
you know.
vampire like
Not like that. I don't want
Dracula.
suck.
Instead
Anyways,
of turning
whatever.
you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations, making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human.
Yeah.
He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance. It gets weird.
'Cause he's so goddamn
Dio
beautiful.
can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair follicles.
That should give me
vaporize the
nightmares, bro.
moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the
Omega
sky.
beams.
Pressurized fluids? Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is Dio's
Pressurized
healing
fluid?
factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times. Another similar vampire, Straight, survived
though.
being blown to pieces and just hold himself back together.
Yeah.
Dio needs
Go for the
some
legs.
blood to speed up the process, so he is basically a vampire. Though I guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dio used his powers to raise a zombie army to conquer the world and feed a baby to its own mother.
Bruh.
Just for kicks.
We've had a lot of real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz, but I'm starting to think Dio takes the cake.
He does.
Luckily, his plans were foiled again by his old frenemy Jojo, who beat Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the sun.
Yeah.
Hamon.
Because should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly
It's like
disintegrate.
kryptonite, you know?
So, what did Dio do? Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to Jojo's body.
Ah,
Wow, cake taken for sure.
definitely.
After a
Yes.
brief century in a coffin at the bottom of the ocean, Dio resurfaced in Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate goal was to create a world where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to eat.
After being struck by a mystical arrow, sure, why not, Dio
Why not?
gained a stand,
Yeah.
the embodiment
The
of a
world,
user's
buddy.
life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Don't do it.
Ow. Hey, look, Wiz, I got a stand. I call it 99 bottles. Hold on. Oh, shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your transmog. Ooh, look, a giant beer.
God damn it, Boomstick.
As befits a god among men, Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history, the world, with its ability to stop time.
Time, huh? Thanks for the... Ow! Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
Troll,
The
yeah.
world is absurdly
Just
strong
spam
and
it.
fast, able to match the stand Star Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo.
Jotaro.
Technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same
Yeah,
stand.
the same stand.
And both
That's
are
why they
two
can
of the
both do
strongest
the
stands out there.
time
Just
freeze
as
thing.
strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
By measuring the distance the meteors are from Earth, we can estimate they were moving at over 11 million meters per second.
Honestly, these numbers don't
Factoring in
mean
their
anything
mass,
anymore.
they
Like,
each
you
have
think
a
I
kinetic
understand any of
energy
this? Nah.
441
I don't,
kilotons
buddy.
of TNT.
Nothing up here.
Not that crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Yeah.
Looking at the interval
Shoo!
Silver Chariot's sword swung relative
Hammond was
to
a
the
piece of
light
shit,
beam,
man.
it
I
must have
was so
moved
happy when they
over
murdered him.
1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own and taken its punches head on.
The heart is carved into his skull, bro.
Secret weapon, the greatest weapon in
Road
anime
roller. Here we
history.
go. Yes.
The steamroller.
Fucking steamroller, man.
Turns out Dio's a hell of a chef. He can make pancakes and donuts.
Even so,
Yeah, that's
despite
that's
having
never
a
gonna go away,
massive
man.
God complex, Dio's still a careful tactician capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
That's why he's so
Too
goddamn
bad He
good.
wasn't prepared for Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. That's some hardcore karma right there.
Yeah.
But it only makes sense that a dog murderer would die like a bitch.
Die
Much
like.
like the machinations of great and terrible men, Dio's will was immortal.
Mm.
In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the Joestar bloodline
Bruh.
and literally remaking the
Yeah.
universe in
Well,
Dio's
so much
image,
was like, you know,
creating
element of
that
surprise.
heaven
Spoiler.
we've always
Spoilers,
dreamed
right?
I guess when you're named after a rock star, a movie star, and, oh, that's right, God, you're pretty much bound for greatness.
You thought your first kiss would
But
be
it was
Jojo,
ideal.
But it was I, Dio.
Just keep the Japanese version. It's cool.
How
Dio,
blessed
man,
are
here we
some people
go.
whose lives have no fears,
Come on, Dio.
no dreads. For though the world seems full of good men, there are monsters.
Wait, this is an anime?
But don't worry, jolly old England has it covered with the Hellsing organization.
Founded by famous vampire hunter Abraham Van Helsing,
Van Helsing,
and
everyone
led
knows
by
him.
his
Hugh
descendant
Jackman.
Integra, this secret government institution has saved the world time and again with their secret weapon.
And what better weapon to hunt vampires
Than
than
a
with
vampire.
one of their very own,
Yeah.
the no-life king, the bird of Hermes, Alucard.
Alucard, huh?
Most, his origin was shrouded
So
in
it
mystery.
was an
Under
anime first and
Hellsing's
then
employ, he was
a video
molded
game?
into an elite hunter, made even more vicious by his intense hatred of his fellow vampire kind.
Damn.
A hatred that he expresses with two of the gnarliest handguns you'll ever pray to your infinite god to never see in person.
Alucard's primary
Guns,
sidearm
man.
is the castle.
I like this
behemoth
guy.
Of a handgun
Guns,
able to
twin
kill most
handguns,
undead
bro.
in one shot with holy bullets that can nullify a vampire's healing factor.
Nice.
The Jackal is the handgun she told you not to worry about. 16 inches long and weighing 35 pounds.
16
It's
inches
armor
long?
Piercing, hollow
I can't
point
beat that,
bullets,
bro. Come
jacketed
on.
in blessed Macedonian silver, were built to annihilate the toughest monsters.
And after decades of clandestine experimentation, Hellsing enhanced Alucard's vampiric abilities far beyond the norm.
Alucard can walk through walls, cast illusions, levitate, and move objects with his mind. Objects like, say, an ocean of over 3 million people's blood? That'd be an energy worth half a
That's
ton
pretty
of TNT.
sick, bro.
His psychic prowess allows him to read minds, communicate telepathically, hypnotize with a glance, and see through hallucinations with his third eye.
He's not a Triclops. It's more of a sixth sense that lets him hit bullseyes from a kilometer away and even predict your movements. Kinda like the Sharon gun.
Of course, he wouldn't be
That's
a
kinda
real
badass, man. I
vampire
like
if
it.
he couldn't drink blood. The catch is, when he drinks enough blood to kill you, he literally absorbs your soul.
Bruh.
That right there is the source of his most fearsome ability.
You just can't kill the sumbitch. Shoot him into Swiss cheese, blow his ass to smithereens, turn him into a literal blood puddle, he'll just regenerate his body lickety-split. Like, we've seen some overpowered healing factors on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit.
Holy shit.
While he does possess blood and organs
It's
like a
intense
regular
as hell,
human, Alucard's body is in reality composed of an ethereal shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound. And each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally
I
injured.
am saying
Kind of like a video game.
This
And
is
after
my
500 years of unlife, Alucard has consumed literally millions of souls.
Shang Tsung.
What up?
Oda.
Yay, more beer.
Just like me.
What up? Hellsing needed a beast as fearsome as Alucard to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like evil squared.
Like
Nazis
when
were also
Millennium
in
SS
JoJo.
Lieutenant Rip Van Winkle commandeered a British aircraft carrier as part of an invasion of London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknifed it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it's struck with a kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the US Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
Oh my.
AKA the mother of all bombs, and Al was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic
This
bullets.
guy's cool as hell,
Comparing
man.
the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
And Alucard caught one with his friggin' teeth. And
Oh,
after
yeah.
giving Rip's name a new meaning,
Terminator?
he drove
Yeah.
that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind to fight two separate armies at the same time. What a goddamn monster!
It goes without saying that Alucard's immense power and bloodlust needed to be controlled, so 6 restriction levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there
That's
exists
good.
an
That
even
sounds
greater
badass,
state
dude.
of power Alucard can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Once activated, Level 0 releases every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies. All 3 million of them.
Sure, with his souls gone, he can't heal as easily, and if his heart is destroyed, he'll die permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable. This guy's got to be like the king of all vampires.
Indeed, he is. Hellsing purposely kept Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards is
Dracula? Yeah, duh, Wiz.
I didn't see
Idiot.
that shit
over
coming.
500 years ago. The Wallachian voivode Vlad Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things didn't end up too good for him. Right before his execution, he took a big old sip of some blood from the battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew to despise his monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice. The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's deep, Wiz. Maybe that's why he always lets his enemies rip into him like a pinata of self-loathing. His crazy OP healing factor will fix everything anyways.
Millennium would exploit this arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrodinger, a German cat boy who controls his own quantum state. This grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist everywhere and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al had 3 million souls kicking around inside him, Schrody couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how spoopy the threat, Alucard will show no mercy. He's just waiting for the day he meets a noble human warrior strong enough to end his unlife for good.
But should he face a fellow monster, a fool who rejected their humanity like himself, he'll let loose the dogs of war, and all hell will sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
That's fucking awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Honestly, I don't know who's gonna win now. Before I say
Alright,
Dio, but
comments are set.
Alucard's
We've run the data
pretty
through all
OP, to be
possibilities.
honest.
But first, if you want the same kind of confidence that lets you try to take over the world with a zombie army, first off, interesting. Secondly, try out Blue Chew.
Yeah. Cause
This
bro,
episode-
like this entire time I was thinking it was gonna be Dio, and I have a bias obviously because I love Dio, right? Despite being an absolute piece of shit, Dio he's still pretty cool, you know? I mean, like, who else has the time to boast and to grab a goddamn road roller, fly an MF with it, and then beat the road roller until it's exploded? No, come on, he's got swagger, you know? But I don't know, Alucard's kind of insane, bro. Like, he's an OP healing factor. His healing factor's probably better than Dio's, I can probably say that. Because Dio got, like, smashed in half by Jotaro and just died, right? I think it might be Alucard. Like, bias aside, obviously, if I say bias, then it'll be Dio, right? Because I know the guy more, right? But from what I've heard, I'm thinking it's Alucard, bro. I'm actually thinking it's Alucard now. Sorry, Dio, man. I knew my boy, but you are a piece of shit still, though, for killing Danny. You can go to hell for that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alucard on this. Oh, it's time for a death battle. Alucard, okay? I'm calling it. Ooh, the animation smooth. And then here comes this pixelated man, bruh. Yeah, the fact that he's handgun just made it like so much more cool, man. I'm confused. Is it not Castlevania?
You interrupted my dinner.
Funny, I was just thinking about having mine.
Then by all means, take a bite.
Just remember, whoever hits first usually ends up falling first as well. They're the knives. Who needs guns when you got knives, buddy?
Checkmate. How oh so very weak, dog. You thought you'd triumph.
If I'm
but it
dog,
was
then you're dog
I.
food, yeah.
Dio?
The animation though, the animation flip, bro.
If I'm a dog, you're a dog.
There it is. There's a lot of it. That thing's badass. It reminds me of the Venom like symbiote smash thing. You can't do that too early, that's what he's finding me, right? So as you see, Dio's kind of going in very first, which is kind of concerning because he might not get out on this one. There's his over, man. Yo, is he letting the... See, now he changed into his other form. The more powerful one, I think. Oh wow, they're doing it on their own now. The world's doing this and then that. It's cool, man.
What the hell are you?
A real fucking vampire.
Did you say a real fucking vampire? That's pretty awesome. Right? That's what's another. He like springed up. Those arm things, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Alucard's got this one, man. Like I love Dio, right? Piece of shit, but I love him. I love him because he's the biggest piece of shit, right? But I think Alucard gets this one. I don't even know the guy, but from what I've seen, oh, that's the coolest thing ever, man. How do these people come up with these ideas, man? So creative, right? Oh, he was in England. That makes some sense. Rip Big Ben. Rip Big Ben.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Show us your own.
Oh, that's so badass. He's like, yeah. You can eat it.
I want to rule the world.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Oh, he said the world so he can freeze time. Second one? What the hell is going on, man?
Face me, Vampire King. Bow to your new god.
The bird of Hermes is my name, eating my wings to make me tame.
Ooh.
Useless.
There goes his heart. There it is. 6-page Muda. There it is. I was wondering if they forgot how to do it. The end? Wait, oh.
KO! Alucard pulled out all the stops, but like the bloody drink, it was in vain.
In vain, that's nice.
Finger guns.
He may have been the king of the vampires in Hellsing, but Dio had everything he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings, and Alucard wasn't nearly as strong or as fast to compensate.
Alucard could survive crashing that jet and move 1,500 times faster than sound. But scaling from Stone Free and Silver Chariot, the world could punch relativistic meteors and move 1,500 times faster than light. That would make Dio nearly 40,000 times stronger and 800,000 times faster than Alucard.
Hell, Alucard couldn't even see or hurt the world in the first place because he's not a
Ooh,
stand user.
I didn't
and
realize
since stone
that.
mask vampires from JoJo aren't weak to holy weapons like hellsing vampires are, Al's guns were more or less dead weight.
Plus, Alucard just had no way to get past the time stop. Even if he did somehow, Dio could just freeze him on
That's
contact.
what I was thinking. Like he has nothing to,
Considering
he
Dio
has
has
nothing
taken
to
punches from Star Platinum,
counter that.
Hell would have had trouble doing damage even if he got the chance.
Dio's far greater speed and power meant that, given enough time, he could realistically kill Alucard 3 million times in quick succession. Without any viable options for attack or openings to exploit, Alucard's soul-based regeneration meant he would run out of lives eventually, and level 0 only sped up that process.
Sure, that army's nothing to scoff at, but consider the time Dio's eye beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating the size of the clouds and the speed at which they moved, Dio's beams must have output an energy of over 10 megatons of TNT, enough to wipe out Alucard's army in one go, leaving him vulnerable. Just like when this other vampire, Walter, could have killed him by piercing his heart. Alucard's even admitted it himself.
Hell, Alucard's army is filled with blood. You know, that thing that Dio uses to heal? But Wiz, what about Schrodinger? With his powers, Al can't die unless he chooses to.
While Schrodinger's quantum immortality makes him impossible to kill normally, it is literally part of the story that Alucard cannot have Schrodinger's abilities and his greater array of powers at the same time, or else he'll no longer exist. We can't give him both Schrodinger and his standard powers without breaking the lore and rules of the character.
Even if we did, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't help him kill Dio at all, so at best it'd be a stalemate. Until Dio hypnotizes Alucard, asks him about his powers, and forces him to eject Schrodi like the rest of his souls.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got Dioned!
Got Dioned.
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
That's right, and you're just gonna have to Dio with it. And hey, wait a minute, there was a part. That's my territory. We talked about this.
The winner is Dio.
Okay. Bro. Oh my god. Oh no, it's not. It's Hellsing. So I got the whole thing wrong. It wasn't even Castlevania, it's Hellsing, bro. Oh. So it is anime versus anime. Wow, dude. Yeah, this is probably the most surprising win in like a long time. Right? Did not expect that. I guess this is what I get for not having faith in my boy Dio. I deserve all of the slack and the hate. Because bro, but like that's the thing, you know, like I still had the doubt in my head, you know? But I just, you know, I guess I got overwhelmed by all of Alucard's powers and shit. He's like, oh, I got an army and shit. I got this, I got that. Look at this crazy. Oh my god, Carlos. I legit thought that Alucard was gonna win. But, turns out it was Dio. You thought it was gonna be Alucard, but it was I, Dio. What did I do? Why didn't I believe in Dio? Ah! Regardless. This has actually been really interesting and informational, educational, everything in between, all the above, A, B, C, and D, E, F, G. But god damn it, bro, that was zany as hell, you know? I just saw that coming. Anyways, that's one death battle. We got like, I think 2 more. I think we got like Korra versus Storm. And we also got Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. Yeah, I guess we got to see what's going on with them too, and then after that, I might upload some something of MK11 or gaming or some shit. I still haven't uploaded me doing a story mode. I already did the entire Aftermath story mode, but I just didn't upload it yet. So I'm gonna have to upload that sooner or later, right? So when that happens, then I will be ready. But until then, we're gonna wait for the next death battle, and yep, I'm gonna see you MFs later.